I did.
down this end.
We did.
Wait to see those signs.
Pick up your wall.
How am I supposed to report on this?
Do your best.
Okay, here goes. The only thing I really had to bring up, and it really, I guess, involved everything that we just talked about, counting the couple calls that I had on the street paving program, and most residents knew and kind of accepted the fact that that was going to be kept to a minimum, if none at all. I was actually even surprised to see 5 streets on there. And, and I told them that the engineering department was going to be picking them because certainly we weren't at the stage of the level of finances that we used to be when council would each pick 6 streets or something and turn them into Paul and tell them that's what they wanted paved. So it got me thinking about the whole financial condition of the municipality in general. The park attendance, the street paving, the fire academy, and every time we make a request, Mr. Little erases some money from something else. I mean, he has to. He's only got a kettle so big. Even with the tax increases, all we did, I think, was put ourselves back to even. And maybe the intention was to, you know, put some more money back in the savings that was used over all those years by the other council that depleted it, not to mention the bills that were racked up, the legal fees and, you know, all the expenditures, and every time they turn the page up there, I think they're finding something else out. So, not that the tax increase isn't taking care of business, it's just that we're continuing to try to run like we used to, and we haven't caught up yet. And I guess what I'm saying is, I looked at myself when I was a young person and fell behind on my bills, and maybe you go unemployed for a while and your home bills fall down into the pits and you start charging them, which would be the equivalent of borrowing money again. And when you get your job back, the first thing you have to do is pay off your bills. So I think the first thing we have to do is catch up. And I'm just saying that there's obligations out there that we have to, maybe we don't put it all back into the coffers right away. Maybe we catch up with things that the residents want and that we have to catch up with. And, you know, years down the road, next year, the year after, we start catching up with the retirement funds and the savings and things like, I don't know. It was just the way I looked at it, because we're trying to still operate like we used to. And now we have this big financial burden to make up for. I'm not saying we're going to be there all the time, but every time we bring up something, whether it's the fire department agreement, whether it's the people in the park, whether it's the capital budget, whether it's, I mean, that's taken a slice of the pie away from what we originally planned on putting away. So it's not that I'm against any of that. I certainly am. Mr. Duncan called me about the park attendants. I am in favor of having those park attendants there. It's just like he said, though, some of the parks don't need them because kids grew up and the neighborhood doesn't use them like they used to. But we have to figure out how we're gonna do this, because again, our pot's only so deep, and Mr. Little has to keep scraping away. And I just want everybody to be conscious of that, counting the residents. You know, that's all.